Someone puts a sweet in front of you and you just overwhelmed to just pick it up and eat it. And there's a very good reason why. Throughout this video, I'm going to break down exactly why that is happening, what sugar is, what it's doing to us, but most importantly, how to overcome these cravings, how to overcome this constant feeling of needing sugar, and therefore, by extension, help you get into the best shape of your life. Sugar. So what's some hidden secrets about sugar? Some things that maybe go over our head or that we don't understand about sugar, and why is it such a strong feeling that we get for craving sugar? Why is it so addictive? It's very intentional. I'm going to break down exactly why this happens. So sugar itself actually triggers the same part of the brain as sex and Charlie powder. Now, I can't put the stuff in there because YouTube might tell me off. But Charlie powder, basically, I'm from the UK. So over here, I don't know if you've ever watched Pablo Escobar's documentary, the stuff he got in trouble for. Yeah, that's what it triggers. So sugar actually triggers the same part of the brain as fun stuff with your partner or whoever, and Pablo Escobar's stuff that he was, getting rid of in his documentary. Triggers the exact same part. And hopefully that's going to start building a picture as to why it's so addictive, as to why it feels so difficult to stop thinking about it and craving it. The next thing, so sweeteners don't actually work the same as sugar. The reason why, we can take time to go away and get some sweeteners or 0 calorie this, 0 calorie that and whatnot. The reason why they don't have the same effect is very, very clear. So calories times sweetness is the reason why sugar is so addictive, because you're getting calories. Our body looks at calories, our brain perceives calories as safety, which obviously then sends off signals for us to feel safe, and which obviously then increases the enjoyment of what we're eating, because calories mean safety. That's all we're searching for every day is calories, to sustain and maintain our bodies. And then the sweetness times those calories times sweetness, and that's where you're getting that gratification. There's another part to sugar as well, which is the temporal sweetness profile. Now, these are all big jazzy words, so I'm going to break it down. It simply means a high release. So some drugs, I won't name them, some drugs, you'll take it, sit there for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and be like, I'm going to be buzzing in 45 minutes or an hour or whatever, I don't know. And then you experience the gratification of the thing that you consumed, whatever it is. Now, the temporal sweetness profile is how long it takes to experience gratification. Now, with sugar, that is extremely high, which means it's 1 second. As soon as you taste it, as soon as your mind recognizes what you've put in your mouth, that you've had sugar, the gratification is instant. Now, I hope this is starting to build a picture as to why sugar can be extremely addicting and craving it all the time. And the next one is that our insulin levels dictate our addiction. So depending on where our insulin levels are is depending on how much we will crave the sugar. So we're going to get onto how to how to overcome this sugar craving and addiction, the feeling of wanting a pack of sweets all the time, because it's not easy. However, there are definitely some processes, just some systems that we can put into place that allow us to overcome this dangerous thing. Sugar, I won't get into my opinion about it, but it should not be on the shelves as it is in our supermarkets, and it's there very intentionally. That's a whole nother video, and I'm not going to even start getting into any of that stuff. But yeah, it needs to be treated with the same level of respect per se, or same, however you look at the first line, the Charlie powder, Pablo Escobar stuff, and your fun. It needs to have a structure around it, or not touch it at all, because it has the same effect as those two. So let's get into how do we start to overcome this stuff. Bosh, put myself right here, right in the middle. So how do we take control? How do we take control of this craving and constant addiction that we feel, this attachment towards sugar that it seems to be a constant? First of all, you have to understand that the experience of sugar, of sweetness, is very much natural. It's very much natural. So what are the alternatives? What are the natural alternatives to sugar? First of all, honey. Anybody that knows me knows I consume about a liter of honey a week. I absolutely love it. And reason being, first of all, honey is incredibly good for you. Incredibly good for you. And also, it satisfies those sweet needs and cravings that we have. I've even got a bit on the go right now. Not pure honey, it's mixed in like a sorbet sort of thing. I'll show you later in the slide. But yeah, we use honey. Pardon me. Salt break. That's melted a bit. Maple syrup. Maple syrup is actually natural. Algar syrup, natural. This sort of stuff is now. There's differentiations. Woo, big word between those three, as in what's better than the other. However, or what you might enjoy more. However, these three are 100% much more beneficial for you than sugar, and will 100% satisfy a level of that urge and craving that you're feeling for sweetness. The next one, complete reset. Now, I'll say it how it is. If you're somebody that is constantly thinking about sugar and has that addiction towards sugar, you have to be really honest with yourself, first of all, to recognize it. We have to recognize, right, why am I thinking about sugar all the time? Second of all, the most effective way is to reset completely. Now, look, I've even put it here. It's hard, but so is being addicted to this stuff. It's choose your hard. I've just recently, I'm going to actually make another video on this, but I've just finished a 3-day fast, a type of fast that I go through to kind of reset my gut, my ghrelin, leptin, insulin levels, everything in my body, so that I have this sort of desire for natural and single ingredient foods. But as I said, separate video. A complete reset. That might be a 24-hour fast of sugar. That might be a 24-hour fast of food. In general, you need to go on a period of time without it, and it will reset your levels and therefore reset your desire to consume sugar. The next one, as I said, replace it. Replace it. Don't get rid of it. Because if you try to do the whole cold turkey, I know this sort of contradicts the last point, but if you try to do the cold turkey thing, I see people that go on like 2-3 week breaks from sugar, and I'm like, good luck. Good luck doing that. And if you can do that, great. However, most of us can't, and we're going to slip right back into our old ways. There's a great quote about I forgot the quote. An idle mind, I've got it. An idle mind is the devil's workshop, which means when we take things out, when we try to get rid of these addictions and just walk away from them, I'm not going to touch it, but yet we don't replace it with something else, what do you think is going to happen? You end up going back to it. Because this thing fills the void. If we don't get anything else to fill the void, then the void's still there. So we just slip back into old ways. This is like with sugar and like with everything else that can be addicting. So replace it. Do not get rid of it. And what can you replace it with? A bit of honey, a bit of maple syrup. I'm going to take you through the other slide. Hold on. Boom, boom. Now look, this is something that, let me make myself large. Here I am, right in the middle. So look, this is something that I have had to go through to reset my levels, reset my desires, and almost completely get rid of refined sugars. I very, very rarely consume sweets, sugars, refined stuff, all that stuff. I rarely consume it. Not because the addiction per se or cravings have gone anywhere. That's not the reason. The reason being is because I've replaced them with whole food, single ingredient foods that give back. Understand that this refined stuff doesn't give back. It takes away from your health and your overall experience of life. Overall experience of life will get worse when you eat this stuff. Your overall experience of life and your general happiness, well-being improves dramatically when you replace it with the natural ingredients. You got one picture there, got a bit of pineapple, Manuka honey. As I said, honey, great stuff. If you're going to get honey, try to get Manuka honey. Try to get clear, good honey. There's a lot of that bottled stuff. There's a lot of it that's got sprayed pesticides on it and all sorts of nonsense that you don't want on your food at all. Okay, so a bit of good honey, coconut water, pineapple. I'll get the blender out and I'll blend it in, and you got a nice smoothie there, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I've got some berries, coconut oil. What else? Honey, of course, like with everything, probably I'm gonna end up brushing my teeth with honey one day. Got honey in here, berries, coconut water, and ginger shot, and it's gorgeous. This is better than Ben and Jerry's. Once you reset your insulin levels, absolutely gorgeous. And then below that, just got like a little array of stuff. Excuse the pistachios, got nothing to do with this. But I've got some dates. Dates are great for you, beautiful, and you know what? Satisfy that sugar urge sometimes more than some of these sweets. They're extremely sweet. And then some strawberries. You know how it goes. Get some strawberries in your berries. Great for you. Now look, don't let good. Hold on, got another quote for you. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. You're not going to get over this craving and addiction overnight. That's not how it works. It takes gradual steps. So if now and then you fancy a Snickers bar and you've been doing really good for the week, go ahead, eat your Snickers bar, whatever. However, it's just about going from 5 Snickers bars a week to 1, or do you know what I mean? Or going from 5 sugary drinks a week to 1, and then getting to the point where you're like, oh, do you know what? Genuinely, I don't even fancy this anymore. I don't even fancy this refined stuff anymore, and your body almost resets, and you just don't desire it. The desire goes. That's the goal, to get rid of the desire. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. I hope sense was making. And until the next one, I'll see you in a bit.